Hello everybody and welcome to episode 40 on the ManniCraft server with Black Dog Z. Alright, so let's just take a look around and I'm going to show you the few things that we fixed up here. First of all, I put a chest here just to hold some stuff that we were working on. It's mostly for the electrolyzer for making silicon cells, but also we'll be using the industrial centrifuge so that we can get some more tiny copper piles so that we can get some more copper. You'll notice a few changes. First of all, you'll notice that there's a bat box up here that's constantly draining, and it's just trying to keep the system full so that these don't have to run quite as often. And what's up there is a low voltage solar array. Now if you take a look here, there's a couple different solars that we have access to. Oh, I can't spell apparently. I would have brought it up anyway, but so these are solar panels from IC2. Now, these solar panels, oops, I hate this system. I always forget to check it. And there we go. That's much better. Okay, so these solar panels, as you can see, have silicon plates, a bunch of different things you can make here, generators, carbon plating, and glass panes. You've seen me make carbon plating before. It's just a bunch of ground up coal stuck in a compressor. Silicone plates are made from silicon cells, which we're getting by putting flint dust into this system, the industrial electrolyzer. And it's 8 flint dust. As you can see, we don't have quite enough for more. And it'll get you 2 silicon cells and 2 compressed air cells. Now this allows me, with 2 silicon cells, to make these silicon plates. And so what that'll allow us to do is it creates this solar panel. Now a solar panel will create 1 EU per tick. Now when you think about it, that's not very much. This generator here produces 20 EU per tick. And so 1 EU per tick is not all that much. But we have a bunch of different, like advanced solar panel, hybrid solar panel, ultimate hybrid solar panel, low voltage solar array, medium voltage solar array, and high voltage solar array. Now these are a bunch of different types of solar panels that you can use. We've built one of these, and basically it's just a bunch of those solar panels and an LV transformer. Makes a low voltage solar array. So up above this box is a low voltage solar array feeding into this box, and as you can see, it's feeding about 8 EU per tick. So that works out to about 80 a second, because there's 10 ticks in a second approximately. And so that's just feeding us a bunch of energy. Now the other thing that we've gone ahead and done is we've added to our geothermals. You'll see here there are now 3 geothermals on this side, as well as 3 geothermals on this side. And there's wiring all back in there to make sure that this MFE stays fully powered. That allows this system here to continuously run and produce UU matter. Now UU matter is a neat part of the game. Once you're able to produce it, you can pretty much make anything you want. If I just go ahead and type in UU, you'll notice that we have a bunch of different things. We have this UU matter, which is what we're actually looking at, and you'll see here that you can put UU matter in a mass fabricator, and of course you got the scrap. Now we're not using a mass fabricator because that has actually been turned off. So this mass fabricator stuff does not actually work. Instead, we're using a matter fabricator. Now a matter fabricator produces UU as well, but it does so a little differently. So now we're probably going to need to build a UUM assembler. Now this is going to take quite some time to build. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff you got to make, but I do believe this is what will allow us to build UU recipes. Now I do believe there's still some recipes, let's take a look, that you can do with just UU matter. But unfortunately not all of the recipes will be available. So like if you go like this, and you can actually just move it around. Oh, look at that. Putting a UU matter in this slot will get us 8 oak wood. Put it in this one, nothing, nothing. Oh, 16 stone if we put it there. So 1 UU matter will get us wood or stone. And then of course you have 2 UU matter that you can do. Like that will get you snow. 4 snow blocks. And of course, once you get more UU, you have a bunch of different options available to you. because as you get more pieces of UU matter, things change. And of course, there's all different sorts of recipes that you can make. Look at that, that'll make a water still. That's still water, that's a water source block. Alright. Now 2 UU matter is not much, you won't get much for it. Oh, you can get 16 grass blocks by putting it there. So there's all sorts of different recipes, and of course you can find those recipes online, and most of the vanilla Minecraft stuff can be made with just using a couple of UU matter and putting it in the right order in your crafting table. Now of course a 2-item crafting table won't produce anything. It does have to be a 3, I do believe. Yeah, it doesn't appear that it'll do anything, but what we're looking for is we're looking for a little bit more UU matter. We're looking at wanting to be able to create gravity armor. Now unfortunately we don't have enough iridium to make gravity armor, so if we take a look, iridium, so you can make iridium ore out of a couple different ways, but you'll notice that there doesn't appear to be a way to make it using UU matter. Now not all UU matter recipes are in NEI, so that's always something that you got to worry about, is that you don't always know what but if you take a look here, oh yeah, you can use shiny dust, hard furnace. Alright, so there's all different sorts of things that can be done with this, but I do know that there is a way to create iridium using UU matter in a recipe. So we just got to find out what that recipe is, and then we can get it together. Now it's going to take a while to get enough UU matter to do that, so we're just letting the power run. Now the downside here is because we're using lava, which honestly is a very overpowered system, allows you to produce a lot of energy very quickly, and we're actually producing 148 per tick. 140 of that EU is actually from the geothermals, and then of course the other 8 is from our low voltage solar array. Now you'll notice that we have a switch here, and our matter fabricator is running, and if I click it, it turns off. I did manage to get that system working, but I found out it had to be in a certain position in order to make it work right. Apparently it only accepts redstone signals when it's set up a certain way, and mine is actually quite hard to get to because it's under the ground and there's a bunch of red wiring under there, because I wanted to make it so that you couldn't actually see it. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to run over here to Taska and Arclights, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Mine's the exact same setup, just underground, and using, of course, the RedPower red wiring instead of just redstone wiring. So I'm actually just going to head over here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So they have theirs hiding way back at the end of this facility here. It's a long run. As you can see, they have a lot of stuff in their facility, but this is the basic idea behind it. It has to be set up in this configuration, and then you can hook up a switch to it as they've done here. Now a switch won't hook directly to it. You actually do need to use a piece of redstone, and there is a piece of redstone on mine as well. And you'll see here that they've actually managed to create quite a bit of UU matter here. But he's got quite the setup here. He has a ton of MFSUs powering it. And so what he does is he uses 20 EU per tick to charge up these MSFUs. And then once that is done, he actually goes and just dumps it all into this system. So it's kind of a neat system. This also powers his entire facility going underground there. So it's kind of neat how he has set this up. You'll also notice here that he has biofuel, a lot of it. It's got a little bit of lava. It looks like they've finally found a new lava source. He's got a huge water tank. I don't know why you would need so much water, but hey. Looks like he's starting to get biomass as well, which is another form of fuel. He's using a lot of various pieces here. He's made some very large tanks. Most of his power supply comes from this system here, and you'll see here that it's a steam boiler running on biofuel, and it's definitely quite a neat system. Most of his Buildcraft power comes from this, and he hooks it up to engines and runs things as needed. Now, I know that he's also got this thing set up to do regular energy, and I do believe that he has the steam running back here. Yeah, so he's got another steam boiler back here running 2 of these steam turbines. So you'll see he's running liquid tanks with biofuel. He's doing a pretty good job of it, I think. Although it seems like a waste that he has this one running, and it doesn't seem to be doing much most of the time. So it's like a waste of biofuel, really. Because when you look, like, this engine's turned off. All the engines for that are turned off. So what do we got here? He's got some creosote oil. And over here, he's got seed oil. Holy, that's a lot of seed oil. So as you can see, he's gone through a lot of iron building all these tanks and putting this all together here. That's a lot of stuff, that is for sure. And of course, he's got all these farms and stuff. Of course, there's the 2 of them here, so they're able to do a little bit more work than we are. You'll see here that he's got seeds, everything set up over here, and even a watermelon. And actually, I think we're gonna... I'm kind of hungry, so let's go ahead and have some watermelon. Oh, there we go. And we'll just put the leftover watermelon back there for him. Just a little bit of food to tide us over. So as you can see, he's got a whole tree farm system going. And I don't know if this is fully automated, but as you can see, there's a lot of hummus. And I honestly think the system's probably wasting a lot of this, because it looks like he's using Buildcraft piping. And there's only so much Buildcraft pipes can do. I'd have to go underground to take a look at this, but he's definitely got a neat setup going here. He's got another farm here. Of course, this is all running off steam, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. Ours is running off peat, so we have an additional step, but we're not wasting any fuel doing it, because peat pretty much runs itself. We're just wasting a little bit of sand, which right now we're actually using cobble that we're grinding into sand. Uh-oh. Whoa. Pissed off Enderman. Oh god. Run. It's usually a bad idea to go out at night. Because their area is completely lit up, the monsters have to spawn outside of it. So I find that they're actually spawning in my area more and more. We're just going to run in here, and we're going to watch the door because we don't want anything coming in. Alright, I think we're safe. Alright, so that's basically caught you all up on what's going on around here. Now, I wanted to work on automating that farm. So that farm that we had started never really worked on, though, because we started working on the UU matter. So down here, of course, we have our tree farm, which is currently turned off because we didn't really need the trees. And over here, we have our wheat farm. Now, as you can see, I've just been manually running this for now, just because I wanted to get some of this wheat so that I could give it to the cows. And so that's all I've been doing, is manually running it. Now, I'd like to go ahead and automate this. Now, Arclight is currently logged into the system, even though I didn't see him on. He must be setting up, like, something else. I really hate Endermen. Did I ever tell you that? They have a tendency to mess with my stuff. I'm always constantly trying to put this thing back together. There we go. That's a little better. And they're constantly, like, I'm trying to make this look nice, and they're constantly ruining it. But, so the plan is to automate this system, and I want to take this one apart and redo it, because it's definitely got some issues in the fact that I have to keep putting sand in here. Like, you'll see there's no sand in there. None whatsoever. And the only thing keeping this thing going is the fact that there is so much peat bog bogged in this system, it's just going to keep going for a long time to come. But, yeah, there's no sand. You take a look, there's a ton of peat in here. And that's not including what's being sent off, which is probably a good, like, 5 or 6 stacks right now, as you can see. So, this system is probably going to stay running for a while, but we need to automate it just a little bit better. Oh, we're out of water. Looks like we won't be making any more. But, of course, I don't know how much we really need to automate it, because you take a look over here, we've got a lot of excess here, 39 stacks of peat. And so I don't know how much longer we'll have to run that peat farm for. We just need to get that actual farm up and running because we need seed oil. The other thing that I noticed is that we are starting to get low on resources. That matter fabricator took a lot out of us. So, like, if you come take a look, we've got 4 stacks of tin, which isn't too bad, 1 stack of gold left, 8 stacks of iron. We're out of copper, and that's one thing that annoyed the heck out of me, is the fact that we are out of copper completely. We're down to 13 diamonds now, and of course our electrum and platinum, we've always had 1. I can't even remember what this is. What is that? Oh, refined iron. Okay. And then this brass and bronze, we only have 1 of each there as well. So I'm hoping that we can get some more of this stuff, and the downside there is we're going to get a whole lot more cobble. I really don't want cobble. So that's something we're going to have to work on. Alright. So yeah, as you can see, we need some way of getting a bunch of stuff together. Now, what I was going to do here is show you guys something kind of neat. So, let's go ahead and get some eggs. I think that's enough. Yeah, we'll get a few more. Oops. Grabbed a few too many eggs. Alright, so there we go. We are now maxed out on eggs. And we're just going to dump a few small things so that we can actually use the empty slots. We're just going to get rid of this seed, get rid of that. And that'll give us a couple small slots to work with. And we can toss these in here. Alright, so now what we can do is we can grab some of the wood from in here. And we're going to make some fences. There we go. Need a couple more pieces of wood. And I want about 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. That should do nicely. Is it daytime yet? It is. Of course, that spider wants a taste of me, don't you? Both of them. So they're probably going to chase us down. But we'll take some damage coming out here. Come on, boys. How about you? No? Shit! Oh. Well, there goes a lot of hard work. Well. Well, that's going to cause an issue now, isn't it? But we'll work on that later. Do I have any blocks? Well, I got a piece of sand here. That's not what I wanted to do. That'll give me 1 wood. Good. Now I can get some dirt. And then, System never just wants to work when you want it to, you know what I mean? So we're just going to cover this up here because I don't want bad guys getting in there. Alright, that'll stop bad guys from getting in. So let's continue on with what we were doing, and we'll get that cleaned up a little bit later. Okay, so what I was going to do was just in here, I was going to go ahead and set up a fence. Alright. Well, it would appear that I made this just slightly too big. Or did I just not have enough wood? Oh, he just killed himself. Alright, we're going to have to try to make this jump. Come on, we can do it. There we go. Oh, did we lose anything down here? That doesn't look like it. I hate creepers. That particular spot has probably been blown up like a good 6 or 7 times. And, let me tell you, it just never gets old. Never does. So let's go ahead and just toss that there. We want sticks. Alright. Alright, so that should be good. Oh, I missed. Luckily we got some stairs here. And, there we go. So that'll allow me access to pretty much everything. Now what the plan is here is to get me some chickens. Now, of course, a lot of people will tell you that you should feed grain to chickens in order to get more chickens. But let me tell you, this is a much faster system. You remember our egg breeder from the beginning when we were originally eating chicken meat? Alright, we're starting to run out of eggs, but that's okay. We can always get more. So it's probably what? 100 chickens? I heard it. Oh. He's just standing there. He's like, I'm gonna fuck up your shit and you don't have a choice. Yeah, well, I do have a choice there, friend. I do have a choice. And something's going on weird here. That'd be why. Pink. There we go. So this just gives me a way up onto the roof. And it seems like creepers always like to hide in that spot, just like they just did. Alright. So you're probably asking yourself, why would I go and hatch so many eggs? And then I'm going to go hatch a bunch more. But we need to eat. Man, the melons didn't last long, did they? Alright. I'm actually going to show you why here. Now, I realize that we have a ton of eggs. And, if I can find them, we have some unused soul shards. So the plan is that we're going to go out there, we're going to fill this soul shard, fill it with chickens. Alright, so let me show you how this works. Well, they're not adults yet, so we can't do it yet. Oh, one of them escaped. We gotta wait until the chickens become adults. The system stopped working again. And I know why that is. There. It just seems like unless you have two of them in your main bar, it doesn't seem to want to work. And sometimes it still doesn't work. So I don't know how many of you remember the episode a long time ago when we had trouble getting one chicken to follow us. Now all of the chickens are at our beck and call. Look at all those guys. Now unfortunately we have to wait for them to grow up. Get in there. So we'll let them grow up, and I'm going to go ahead and start killing them and turn them into the soul shard. So that's easily 200 chickens out there, and we'll probably crack some more eggs. But other than that, we got you guys all caught up and told you what we're working on here, just getting a soul shard full of eggs. And so once we do that, we'll have a couple of full soul shards. We'll have a soul shard for Blaze, Zombie, and we've got an almost full soul shard for Skeletons. We've also got one that's kind of full. Then we have Angry Zombies. We haven't killed very many of those. We haven't killed very many Endermen, Fire Bats, and then we have an accidental skeleton soul shard as well. So that's something that's going to need to be worked on a little bit. As you can see, I don't know if you noticed that, we do have 8 Iridium, which should hopefully be able to make my next step of armor, because I'm thinking about upgrading the nano suit to the next step. And if not, though, we should hopefully be able to get enough Iridium to make better armor. Alright, that's it for today. It wasn't a very eventful day, but I do want to let you know that tomorrow's episode is going to be a little bit more about bees, and we're going to try to automate those as well. So we're going to start working on some automation stuff, improving what we already have. And so you'll see that over the next coming days. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know, because I'm running out of ideas here, honestly. We probably got another 10, 15, maybe 20 episodes left before it's time for a new server, and then maybe we'll do something a little bit differently. So if you have any suggestions, you want to let me know. Oh, one final thing I almost forgot. When the new server starts up in a month, we're looking at inviting 1 or 2 people to come join us. So I'm thinking at least one of those people that we come invite is going to be from here. So remember, if you're subscribed, you can enter to get into our server. And we're going to bring 1 or 2 people on to come play with us. And if it works out, you get to stay, have fun, and even be included in the episodes. So remember to tell your friends, get them to sign up, because unless we get 20 subscribers, we probably won't have enough people to do a vote like that. So, and we are up to, what was it again? I think 13 subscribers. I want to thank everyone who's subscribed, by the way. I know we have a couple new subscriptions, and I want to thank you all. I see here that we're currently up to 15 subscribers, and I want to thank some of the newest members and some of the people that have been around since the beginning, like Minecraft Creeper 666 and Thor, God of Minecraft. You guys have been really great. Thor, I love your work, and maybe we'll get a chance to do an episode together. All right, have a good evening.